Good evening, Methuen residents. Unfortunately, we're here to talk again tonight about students making statements that they would like to shoot up a school. It dismays us that this is the second time in 1 week that we've had to have this conversation. We thought it was important to confirm the information so that you would get it directly from the police department in the city and not have rumors. Two students at the Tenney School today made certain statements about shooting up the school on Monday and told students, certain students, that they shouldn't come to school on Monday for their own safety. We want to commend the students, again, who came forward in our See Something, Say Something program and immediately told staff members. We can't say enough about the courage of these students coming forward. The Methuen Police Department conducted an in-depth investigation. As a result of that investigation, 13 and 14-year-old 8th grader were arrested. 13-year-old has been released to his parents. The 14-year-old is being held in custody. We want to assure the Methuen residents and our students and staff, based on the information we had, we've determined that they didn't actually have the capability of carrying out their threats at this time. There was no weapons found, but we take every single threat serious. We don't care if it's a copycat, if it's a joke, you're just fooling around with your friends. If you make these statements, you are going to get charged. The mere violation of the law is making the statements. We'd encourage parents, please have a conversation with your kids, reiterate the importance of See Something, Say Something, and have conversations with your kids about if they're thinking about making statements like this, or if there is any concern of themselves that they are interested in school shootings. If you feel they need some help, come forward to us. We'd be more than happy to help you get some counseling, or take them to counseling yourself. But we really want to assure you, based on having an officer at every school and the amount of training we've done with the faculty, staff, and students in our offices, that this is a result of that training, that we interdicted any incidents before they occurred. And we should all be proud as a community that the system we put in place worked. Now the mayor would like to say a few words to you.
Thank you, Chief. I think it was well said what the Chief just said, but I think, again, as a city, we're trying to be proactive rather than reactive, and I think that's what we're looking at. When something of this nature occurs, we're at the forefront in dealing with all these various situations. I think it's important in terms of what occurred not only on Monday, but what occurred today, of course, on Friday as well. Has been handled in a very professional manner, but more importantly, we're arrested both at the high school level and also now at the 8th grade level as well. It's unfortunate that we have these situations that occur, not only occurring here, but across the country. But here in Methuen, we take all these threats seriously, as was stated, but more importantly, we deal with it in a way that parents and those students that are very positive look at the city and saying, Methuen is handling these situations in a very professional way, but more importantly, protecting our citizens along with our students. And I think the courage shown by the students coming forward was important. And at the end of the day, it's important that these parents speak to their children about the conversations that are held. One other thing I want to mention, hasn't been mentioned at all at this point, it's important that students also, and parents should realize that a lot of students have cell phones as well, and they text each other. Sometimes you get that type of going on. I'm looking at the future. So I think all those areas, especially with the media as well, have to be looked at in the future. But I thank the police department of what they did in this course, and again brought it to a quick conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Sergeant Aiello just would like to speak a little bit about the safety at our school. Sergeant Aiello oversees all the school offices, and he's an experienced, trained investigator and school officer.
Thank you very much. As far as the school officers in the schools, we believe that the schools are safe for the staff and the students, which is our priority. Very well trained in the new ALICE protocols. They've had drills over the last several weeks. The staff has been trained, and now the students have been trained. So we believe that, in any case, that our staff is ready and our students are very well prepared. But again, the most important thing is that the parents talk to the kids at home. And we can't stress that enough. I was involved in the interviews as far as the kids coming forward, and it took great courage for these students to come forward today, and also earlier in the week, and I can't stress that enough. We were able to, in most cases this week, possibly hold off something that could have went wrong. So again, I can't stress enough the officers that are in the schools, the relationship we have with the school department. Thank you.
And in closing, I'd just like to thank everyone for taking the time to view this video news update. And I'd ask you, as my last statement, please speak to your children about see something, say something. It can make a difference.